Hello everyone, and welcome to my Kalphite King guide. This guide is going to be focusing on the heal voking role. If you are interested in the tanking role, click the link in the description, and it should also be somewhere on the screen in an annotation form, and that'll take you right there. However, if you are more interested in heal voking, which is in my opinion the more difficult of the three roles of the Kalphite King, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do it. But before we get started, let's go over our gear and setup initially. So here I'm showing a melee loadout. You can also use range or magic, and these are debatably easier to use against the Kalphite King, but those are easily changed. Just use the gear that I'm using, which is Tetsu, Drygores, Bandos, Boots, and Gloves, a 6-stage circuit. I have a Vampirism Aura, as well as a Vampirism Scrimshaw, and a Dragon Rider Amulet, and a Slayer Helm, because I always go to Kalphite King on Slayer tasks. Just remember, if you are using ranged or magic, switch out your dual wield weapons for dual wield range or magic weapons, and just change the top and bottom and boots and gloves to a ranged or magic style. So in the inventory, we have 2 overload flasks, 2 renewal flasks, 5 prayer potion flasks. You'll be getting plenty of prayer potion drops. You won't need more. You'll need law, astral, and blood runes to cast the heal others spell on other party members. Also make sure that you are on the lunar spellbook to do this. You will also need your switch, either magic or range, in your inventory. I would recommend range, as well as unicorn scrolls and a unicorn summoned, your shield, and some food. And on your action bar, I made one for range, magic, and melee. Just feel free to copy these, any style that you choose to use. You also want your prayers open somewhere on the screen for easy switching, as well as your HP spellbook to use the ability Sacrifice. As you start the kill, make sure that you are in either your magic or melee gear, whichever you chose to bring. The Kalphite King will start in his melee phase, so he will be strong against range this phase, and his weakness will be fire spells. Have your quick prayers set to protect from melee, turmoil, and protect item. You want to make sure that protect from melee is on your quick prayers, because that will make it very easy when you need to switch into the voke for the Kalphite King, and you'll be able to click on that protect melee, which is necessary to not get one hit by his attack after you voke him. So the Kalphite King will use the charge ability pretty soon into the kill, where you just don't want to stand in front of him, and then you'll take no damage. On his third attack after he charges, he will green the tank. Be wary of the Kalphite King's life points, because once he reaches 195,000 life points, the first batch of minions will pop out, which makes it slightly more difficult to voke, but it's not usually a big deal. When you see the Kalphite King turn yellow and kind of spit at the tank and turn him green, you want to use the ability Provoke. Click on your shield, make sure you are at full adrenaline if the minions are out, and use the ability Barricade. Then cast Heal Other on your 2 other party members. By this time the Kalphite King should have hit you. You will take no damage because you used the Barricade ability. Be wary of when the Kalphite King digs, so he doesn't dig under you, because this can deal a lot of damage. If the minions spawn and the Kalphite King is ready to green the tank and is about to one-hit him, and you need to provoke him and you don't have the full amount of adrenaline, just make sure that you double-click on your quick prayers to make sure you're in Protect from Melee, and then use the Devotion ability. You have to be on Protect Melee, otherwise you will get hit. So here, when the minions are not out, what you can do is, instead of using the Barricade or Devotion ability, you can use the Resonance ability, and this will make the Kalphite King's attack heal you instead of damage you. Or not do any damage at all, but not heal you if you use Barricade or Resonance. So this is going to be quite easy to save you a ton of food. You don't want to use Resonance while the Kalphite King is out, though, otherwise one of the minions will pop your Resonance and you will gain that you'll be one hit by the Kalphite King. So here, when the Kalphite King activates his green shield, don't DPS him for the next 6 seconds, as he will heal all damage that you do. Here is another example of the Kalphite King greening the tank and voking the Kalphite King. Just make sure you always use the Heal Other spell on the Lunar Spellbook before you use the Resonance ability, because the Heal Other spell does damage you. So you want to make sure that you're healing that damage back as long as the minions aren't out with the Resonance ability, because the Kalphite King's attacks can hit up to your maximum life points, so you will heal. Even if you're at 1 HP, you will heal all your life points back. So the next batch of minions spawn at the Kalphite King's 65,000 life point mark. So your job while the minions are out are to only kill the minions that are close to the Kalphite King, so you can easily voke him as long as the Kalphite King is in the melee or range phase. If he's in the magic phase, feel free to kill any of the minions about. Just make sure if he is in the magic phase that you're paying very close attention to the orange balls because you don't want to be hit by them. The Kalphite King surprisingly never even went into his magic phase during this kill, but he will in the next kill, which is shown. So during the range phase, the only things you want to watch out for is when the Kalphite King uses the ability Fragmentation Shot and just don't move or it will triple its damage. And here is another green against the tank while the minions are out. This is quite late in the kill, so one thing you can do, even if you have to use Devotion or Barricade, is heal your party members as long as you are good on food yourself, because you'll heal them more than damage you'll take, and they can always share food with you or something like that later on in the kill. Just only do this at the very, very end of the kill if you cannot resonance the damage that you take from the heal back. And here's just an example of the Kalphite King trolling. He often tends to dig a couple times right before the end of the kill. It's a little bit frustrating. But anyway, we're going to head into another kill right after this drop, and I'll show you some mage phase action and what to do on there. And there's a troll beam of light of black dragonhide. Not quite the Drygor we were expecting. So at the end of the kill, just make sure to use Guthix's Blessing or put on your shield and use Rejuvenate. Or if you don't have full adrenaline, just regenerate it back. So as the Kalphite King switches into the magic phase, use Anticipation or equip your shield and use the Resonance ability. You can only do this at the very start of the magic phase, as you will need your Resonance ability during the other two phases when you voke the Kalphite King, so only do this at the start. Make sure to switch into your ranged gear or magic gear, however ranged gear is better for the magic phase, because melee can be very, very frustrating, and I'll show you an example at the very end of the kill why you don't want to use melee. Here's an example of what you can do when you're surrounded by orange balls. You can either use the escape ability to get away from them very quickly, or you can make sure your protect from magic is on and switch into devotion. You can soul split during the magic phase because the protection from magic does not decrease the damage done. Anyway, as you noticed, this is actually not me recording the footage. This is a friend of mine named Evil Lucario. She does some streaming. I will leave a link to the stream down in the description if you want to check it out. And here is just an example of why the magic phase can be frustrating with melee. Anyway, farewell.